Hi everyone, my name is Virgile Manin. Thanks for attending to my talk about social integration and social bonding in 3 neighboring chimpanzees community. A number of studies linked fitness to differences in sociality of individuals and was combined in 2020 by Snyder, McClure and colleagues. So here a figure from this review where you have like a non-exhaustive list of species and sociality measure linked with an increase in fitness. So on one hand, in the green square, more integrated individual experience better survival, produce more offsprings which survive better, and at the same time, individual maintaining close social relationships, so the variables like in the blue square, experience similar benefits. This is puzzling, however, since they represent different social strategy from opposite spectrum of social organization. So the question I will try to answer today is like how individuals with social bonds are also more integrated within their group. To assess like relationship quality, we use grooming in the Dynamic Dyadic Sociality Index or DDSI. If you want to know more about this index, I will be happy to answer your question after the talk. So the strength with the preferred partner was the non-directed DDSI score in grooming. We extract as well the stability of the relationship, which is the variation of the non-directional DDSI score using the standard deviation. The reciprocity of the relationship was assessed by the absolute difference in the DDSI score between 2 individuals, accounting for the direction this time. In addition, we average the strength score for the 3 preferred partner of an individual and calculate the proportion of strong and weak relationship this individual has. In addition, we built a network based on association pattern using the Dyadic Association Index, and from this network we extracted 2 commonly used centrality measures, which are eigenvector centrality, that will inform how central an individual is to the network, either by being strongly linked to many others or directly linked to highly central individuals. And we extract as well the closeness centrality, which is the average length of the shortest path between an individual and all other individuals in the group. We check first for redundancy in those measures by running a principal component analysis. From the component analysis, we were able to extract 3 dimensions. Here I present the B-plot with the variables and the individual loading on the first 2 dimensions. So as you can see here, the first dimension is principally accounting for the bonding measure, which are the strengths with the preferred partners or max strengths, the average strengths with the top 3 partners, named strengths top 3, and the proportion of strong ties, which is strong strengths. The second dimension is accounting principally for the network measure, which has the closeness centrality and eigenvector centrality. It's noteworthy that there is no strong loading of either bonding or integration variables on the dimension 3. So then, to test if integration and bonding are linked in our system, we run a general linear model, including variables with the strongest loading of on the dimension, so the strengths of the strongest relationship, max strengths, and the eigenvector centrality. In addition, we add the variables that do not strongly load of any of the factors, which are the proportion of weak ties, the stability, and the reciprocity of the relationship. However, after controlling for age, rank, sex, and group, the model shows no predictive power, so social bonding and social integration do not predict each other in our system, since they first load on different dimensions, and then those results remain valid when we control for age, sex, rank, and group. So our findings run contrary with what has been suggested before. On the left, I present the result of a study from 2016 conducted by Ching and colleagues. And first, they found that the female Chacma baboon who form relationship with individuals who were themselves well connected within the group had stronger relationship. And in addition, the strength of the relationship was also negatively correlated with the betweenness and the reach. Thus, like simply being connected to many other females was not necessarily associated with stronger social bonds. On the left, a study from Ellis and colleagues on macaques found a negative relationship between bonding, which is the strength of connection to top 3 partners, and the integration measure, which is the number of weak ties. Of course, here there is no possibility to rule out that the differences are due to methodology, because we are comparing different variables. However, such differences could be explained first by the social structure of the group, So in multi-male, multi-female group, as it's the case for the chacma baboons and the rhesus macaque study I presented before, individuals stay in the same vicinity and therefore grooming and association measure similar preferences. In that case, more spatially centered individuals have more grooming opportunity than peripheral one, while in fusion-fusion system, these features might be minimized, and forming bonds involves the joint advancement from both individuals and reflects a clear partner choice. Conversely, association tendencies are non-directed and are subjected to the decision of bystander. The social organization differences between the species can as well explain the difference in the results. Like spatial centrality of dominant is reported for despotic species, but never for egalitarian ones. So accordingly, despotic species seems to be restricted to dominance rank and kinship as a predominant factor structuring their social network. And therefore, association and bonding are built on the same pattern and are like tightly interrelated. While in an egalitarian society, the individual can choose with whom to associate depending on the context. So, for instance, in Tai, a chimpanzee will associate with different individuals depending on whether he wants to hunt, copulate, or groom, and only the grooming association will be like driven by a social bond situation. So to sum up and to take home, social bonding and social integration are not predicting each other in Tai chimpanzees. Social structure and/or organization might explain differences between species. So for further research on sociality, careful consideration has to be given due to the benefits reached and the cost related to the social strategy, the relation to the dominant structure of the group, so whether or not individuals have the full choice of individual for their friendships and association or not. In addition, even if it's accepted that sociality affects fitness, an effort is needed as well to think about the biological then and the ecological meaning of sociality measure within the system considered, and more comparison of measures across species and group should refine the aspects of sociality that are more consistently important. So I will thank you all for your attention and see you in the question-answer session.